teach it because it is the most valuable, most timeless, most universally compensated skill a creator can possess. People do not pay for information. Information is free. People pay because a story moved them. People follow because a story made them feel less alone. People buy because a story made them believe change was possible. If you can tell a true story well, you will never, ever, ever, ever go hungry. Ever, ever. I don't know why it's this way. I don't know if it's a universal principle. I have no idea. But even when I'm be honest with you. So after I surrendered my life, God put it on my heart to serve and only serve. In other words, don't work. Don't find a job. First of all, I was mentally ill and crazy, and my mental health wasn't stable enough. I mean, DID is a problem. So I wasn't healed enough to have a job, but God put it on my heart to serve. And by doing that, I was able to control the amount of time I was around people. I could keep people at an arm's distance. If I disassociated, I could hide. But when I was mentally okay, I could go in and I could share, I could talk. That's why we did the exercise before. And I was sharing with you about, when if you're mentally ill, you don't have to grind it out. Like, you can wait for the good days and then create a bunch then. Like, I give that advice because I used it. But because that's what I was instructed to do, which made no sense, by the way, because everyone says you need a job, you need this, you need that. I just was obedient to what God called me to do. And you know what? I never went hungry. I never was homeless. I became homeless later, and I honestly believe it's because I serving and only serving started doing work again in a different way than I was supposed to. And but when I was obedient to what I was being called to do, and I'm not saying God's calling you, by the way, to quit your job. I'm not saying that. But some of you are being called to serve in a different way. And I believe when we're obedient to those calls, God is going to provide, because that's one of God's promises. It is part of God's promise. I mean, he's going to provide everything that we need, but we get to be obedient to what we're called to do. And I miraculously lived in Beverly Hills and other places. I lived there for free, but it was because of the work I was doing that someone goes, I've got this guest house in Beverly Hills. I want you to live in it. And I was able to help and provide value in another way. And then I just ran. I mean, it was just crazy how it worked. I saw miracles nonstop. It was scary, so scary, so scary.